Hello, scrappers. Got a little breeze blowing, so I'm not sure if you can hear me or not, but kind of what I've been up to. Last Monday I planted some tomato plants out here. Got 9 of them. And then the center row I planted cucumbers. Looks like might have one coming up right there. And then in the far row I planted okra. And I tilled that area up over here for my daughter. She wanted to plant some peppers and watermelon. Well, and over here, told you I'd give you an update on this mower. Well, I got that gasket in, put the gasket in it, and wouldn't quite run. And then I got noticing that the bottom of the fuel pump here, the stem was broke off. So I said, okay, that'll do it. So I went down the field and found one. The intake and fuel lines weren't quite orientated the same way, but I made it work. Had it running there for 2-3 minutes, then it died and couldn't get it started again, and no gas coming out, so I went ahead and ordered it. It was like $40 for the fuel pump, and then shipping and taxes came up to almost $50. So I might have $65 in this mower, and yeah, I guess I got to sit on it and push the pedal down. Apparently I didn't lock it in when I got off of it. Let me climb up here. Used to having the brake on this side. That pedal there is to lift the deck. So now the right pedal is a brake. So didn't even have to choke it. Of course, it's 90 degrees out here. Runs along nicely. I'm sure you can see that. 310 hours. 310 hours on it. Shoot, my little John Deere's got 200 and some odd hours on it. Yeah, my little one here is 256. Of course, I've had it 6-7 years. So, hood still hadn't fallen apart on it like the others. So, I need to go down and get some blades for it. I was doing some mowing with it the other day, and mowed pretty good, but kind of shaggy. I think one of the blades is a little shorter than what it's supposed to be. But mows pretty quiet. Not loud like the other one, but looking online trying to figure out about what model this is, and I think it's the X500 series, about a $7,000 mower new. So I gave $1,700 for that one. So I don't know what they are now, especially with the inflation and whatnot. And I've been playing around with solar a little bit. Got my inverter out here, and went down and got a little 35 amp hour battery from Harbor Freight. I've got a little panel. Yeah, I got it upside down on the workbench right now. A little 10 amp or 10 watt panel I've had 20-25 years or so. It's just been connected to a pole, hasn't been doing nothing. And then I spent about 40 bucks on a, I think it's a 7.5 watt panel that I use to keep the batteries charged up out there on the winches. On the 2 trailers there, I swap it back and forth kind of as I use them. Now this came on a little bit ago, Because that 500 watt inverter, I've had that for many years, and I thought, what good is solar if you don't use it? You know, but kind of trying to build kind of a little backup emergency type. Remember I mentioned here a while back, a year ago or so, that about doing some kind of videos on emergency preparedness, and which I've got a little generator, but I thought solar would be nice too. And generator, I don't want to use it unless I have to, because then you got to, you know, run all the gas out of it. But with solar, you know, take the battery, use some of the power. I was running a drill earlier with it, and I thought I might try to power the monitor here as I do my video. So here we got power, so coming off the solar. What I thought I'd do today is, I got a couple ice makers here. I got a bunch of them outside I wanted to get tore down, and then this is the unit here that for the ice in the door has the auger. So we'll go ahead and set the camera in the tripod, and we'll get started with that. I'll hook up the monitor. Use some of that free electric. I'm kind of thinking of hooking up my Ryobi charger to the inverter too, and charge the battery that way a little, you know, charge the batteries I use. Okay, so thing for starters, I got this one that had this plate on it, riveted on. Doesn't stick, so I'm going to have to find out, is it stainless, is it aluminum? And we got this little piece here. Instead of trying to fight it and whatnot to get it out, I just snip it off, toss it in my shred bucket, and I'll get the quarter-inch. This thing might be getting wore out. I've only been using it a couple of years. The plate's pretty thick. Got aluminum rivets in it, so if it's stainless, I'll have to probably air chisel them rivets off or cut them off with a grinder. Yeah, I'd say it's stainless. And I think the wife's hollering. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, the wife was hollering. It's time to eat. So yeah. Yeah, I hit this on the grinder. Sparks were flying, so it's stainless steel. And we got rivets, and I think those are aluminum, so if you got earbuds on, turn your volume down or pull your earbuds out real quick. I'm fixing to fire up the grinder. Yeah, get a little punch here, and well, thought it'd be easier than that. May have to get them down a little flusher. So here we go with the grinder again. Tell you what's hard to knock rivets out of, and that's the bed rails. Those things are stubborn. Get a little bigger punch. There we go. That one popped out. Clean this up nice and purty. Yeah, and that solar, that little inverter, it's 500 watts. Sounds like a lot, but it's on the bottom. It has the output at like 5.5 amps. This grinder is like, I think it looked, I can't read it on here anymore, so I looked it up on Harbor Freight's website, and it's 7 amps. Okay, the skill saw is 10 amps. So, kind of had to look at the output, but I ran these shears off of it earlier. I think the shears said well, I thought I saw it on here. Oh yeah, 4 amps. That's 4 amps right here. So I thought, okay, so I can run those. And then I was cleaning up some silicone off of some aluminum. And I used this drill, and it ran just fine off of it. And then back when I was doing junk cars, I used to take it along and use this to air up the tires. So this, I'm not sure what the amps on this is, but apparently it's low enough to run off of that 500 watt inverter. So I've aired up many a tire with this thing. And then, wow, only 2 amps. 120 volts, 60 hertz, 2 amps. So yeah, I would have thought that would be higher than 2 amps. So of course, when you go start buying that solar stuff, a lot of it's not cheap. So I thought, well, to get some of my money back, I can use it like this for the monitor for doing the video. And I mean, not a whole lot, but every little bit adds up. So by not having that monitor plugged into the AC, I'm saving a little bit. Not much, but saving a little bit of electric. A little here, a little there. Now on these, sometimes these make good little screw bowls or something like that. Okay, now it looks like I got to change over to Phillips. I'll snip these wires off. Bucket over here, tub. And you get a little so now I'm finally putting that little 10-watt solar panel to use. I might buy another small setup down the road and do a video with it. Okay, trying to figure out what to do next. Pull that out. Got a little small copper bearing motor here. Have to get a smaller screwdriver. Very small. very small screwdriver. I could have probably swapped tips, put it to a number 1. And this piece also has a bunch of little copper strips in it, so if you'd like to micro scrap, set that aside, pull all those little copper strips out, which I know there's a lot of people probably watching this that it's not worth their time, which you have to figure out what your time's worth. Me, I'm retired, so you know, I have my income. This is so I don't have idle hands, I guess you could say. Keep my hands and mind occupied. Now we got 2 big screws right here. Gets me off the couch and away from the TV set. Now we got a couple little pieces of metal there. It looks like a couple little brass probes right here. I'm not sure what they're connected to. That's some kind of little doohickey. I could probably smash that with a hammer and see what's in there. You've definitely got a couple pieces of brass there. And then this little piece right here. So then we got a little piece, a little rod right here. This is brass. So, and usually what I do to get those out, I just get a hold of it with channel locks or something, bend it over, and pry it right on out of there. Now, these are basically cast aluminum, but they coat them. I'm not sure what they coat them with. Some of the older ones used to really have to fight them out, but these little heating coils, here's how these things work. You know, they freeze, and then when it gets ready to release the ice cubes out of here, that heating coil will heat the aluminum just enough to where the outer layer will melt, and then they just slide right out. But a lot of you probably know what aluminum does when it comes into contact with water. You get a lot of white powder, so people probably wouldn't want that in their ice, so they put a coating on these. Now, I don't know, you'd have to check with your yard. They may or may not say anything about the coating if you just throw it in with your regular cast aluminum. But and I've done that in the past, you know, where I just do a few of these and toss them in with cast aluminum and they don't say anything. But I've got a bunch out there, so I might go ahead and just start me a separate barrel for them. There's really nothing much left in that. A couple metal screws. I got the barrel right out here. Like I say, this piece here. This piece here is loaded with copper strips, so I toss them in a bucket or a barrel or something until you get time to go through them. These would probably be neat to put a good glue a good microwave magnet or something on, then you can throw your screws or something in there. Excuse me for a moment. I don't need to line aired up yet, right at this moment. Now these are a little different story, but a lot of these are left-handed threads. This is what turns the auger to dispense the ice out the door. Now, you got a couple different ones. This one here is just threaded. Some will have a nut there. If they got a nut, I'll grab my Ryobi impact. So I kind of look at on here to see which way. So the left-handed thread puts it on, so I should be able to hit it right there, breaks it loose. That breaks that loose. Pull out all the screws. Yeah, I've been doing just last week or so doing a lot of little projects. A little bit of scrapping here and there. I picked up a little window unit air conditioner today, and the guy said where the power cord comes right into the body, it thinks it's shorting out right there. So I'll unload it later and pull it in, take a look at it. Maybe that's just trash. I'll pull it in, take a look at it. It's a nice little chunk of metal there. And get in there, separate them wires and whatnot, and then I can always solder them back together. I got some liquid electrical tape that I can put on them. Now these things right here are full of copper, and I'll aim you over at the vise if I can. See if we can zoom in some. Yeah, you can see on the top here, got these little spots that are kind of spread to hold that on. So what I'll do, I'll put this in the vise just a little bit to catch the bottom. And then grab my big screwdriver, wherever it's at. Big snap-on. I just get in here and pry it apart. And that comes right out the top. See, you'll have a couple of little brass electrodes going in there, and then this is just wound up with copper. You can cut the end off with a sawzall or something, and then you can pull it out. You may be able to, I don't know. That'd be one way. I've heard some guys say they put them in the freezer, get them really cold, and then they'll pull them out and hit them give them a good blow with a hammer, and they just shatter. So, a couple different ways to do that. I guess I better turn you back over to where I'm working. Probably back out a little ways. Okay. This one's got Phillips head screws on it, which is nice. I did a couple yesterday, and they all had Torx. So I had to get my security bit set out and get a couple Torx. So then we got these. Now, right now I'm just taking all these and throwing them in a bucket until I get a bunch of them. They usually have grease. They got gears inside there and grease, so they can be a mess. A lot of times these will come right out. Sometimes they'll be stubborn. So you can probably just throw these in a bucket sell them as breakage. So I may do that, or I might take them out there to my melting pot and melt them down. So it's a nice thing with melting pot, I do have that option. But I need to get out there here one of these days, do another melting video. All my aluminum ingots I had on eBay have sold now. I had some sell Friday night, Saturday, something like that. So I had to, they got them in the mail, got them sent off in the mail today. These little bits of wire I throw into a tub over here until it gets fairly full, then I'll take it out and throw it in the barrel. I'll go ahead and take this down a little further. Now if a guy wanted to, you can take like a cold chisel or something and cut these here with cold chisel and peel them off. They're copper. This one's been painted over. And I'm going to show you how to get these out of the it almost kind of looks out of focus a little bit, doesn't it? Mainly I need that anvil on that vise. And I'll get a little bigger hammer. Now what I want to do, I want to hit this here, try to draw this together, and then what should happen as I hit it here, draw this together, it should come disconnected. Okay. I don't know if you can see the line right here and here, where this piece that goes through will be separate. So we'll just lay it flat like that. Sometimes these will work real easy, other times not so easy. Okay, what I'm going to do from here, on this side, yeah, get over here, you can see we're getting a good separation, and we're getting a little separation here. So I'm going to help it along, put the cold chisel in there. I'll go to the side that has the wider separation. Sometimes they'll smash down and come apart really nicely. Other times you gotta fight them. Yeah, go ahead and show you that. Well, there's the back side of those wires. You can see the copper color. You can always break them off. Put them in number 2. I've even taken a really small punch when I have to break them up and kind of drive it through there. Yeah, this one here's just not wanting to kind of pop loose like they normally do. And get all the copper out. This piece here can always go into short iron. And then this piece, pull that right on through. And then that leaves you with this piece. And you can probably cut it with a knife or something. which I might as well do, huh? You can kind of see the copper in there now. Okay, so that's about it for the for that ice maker and the auger piece. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Share it with your friends. Let me know if you're interested in some of these prepping. Like I said, I'm not a hardcore prepper. I got a storm cellar out here, but I don't have a bomb cellar, nothing like that. And I do have a little bitty TV that has a battery built in, and so I've got a little magnet for the TV, or magnetic antenna, and I have it sitting on top of the storm cellar, so, and I can hook it up when I'm down there and still see the radar and stuff like that if the storms are close, so we know what's going on outside. And kind of helps. But I thought years ago about having a separate little cement vault outside the storm cellar where I could have a couple, solar batteries and be able to run 12 volt in there. I said, especially for like the kids and stuff, it's scary enough the storm is going on and you're running down the cellar, and and then if you're sitting there in the dark, that makes it worse. So have some lights or something you can take down there. And like I said, I was a Cub Scout, and they always said, Boy Scout, they said, be prepared. So, and like I say, you don't have to go camping to have camping equipment, because if we're total electric here, if the lights go out, it's nice to have some flashlights and lanterns and stuff to light the place up. It's nice to have some electric to charge your cell phone, your laptop, whatever. I do have a battery backup on my computer and modem and stuff in there, router, so that can keep going for a while, probably an hour, as long as I shut my computer off, just use my laptop. So I thought, well, with a couple solar batteries and eventually get a few bigger panels and a little bigger battery bank, and I got a 1500 watt inverter here somewhere. I bought years ago at an auction, got it cheap for about 15-20 bucks. I just gotta locate it. So where did I put it? So I hope you enjoyed the video. You might check out the affiliate link in the description below for Amazon. I've got several of the cutting discs and tools and stuff that I use in my scrapping. If you're interested in the solar, go ahead and say so in the comments, and I can kind of add some of the solar stuff to our videos. Maybe do a few on solar as I progress and migrate along on the solar journey. Because I'm thinking too, if I put solar panels up over the roof of this shop, that's going to kind of shade the roof, and it won't be quite so hot in there in the summertime. So that'd be a win-win situation there. So out here in Oklahoma, we get lots of sun, lots of wind too. I hope that wind's not messing with the camera, because I got the doors open, the wind's blowing through the shop. I didn't even think about that until a minute ago. Probably should have used the GoPro. But anyway, we'll see you guys in the next video. This is probably getting pretty long, and I'm going to get some more of these ice makers tore down. Still got a couple hours out here, or at least an hour. So get a little bit tore down and cleaned up. Not working too hard, a little bit here, a little bit there. But you guys take care, and happy scrapping. Bye-bye.